some more information for our viewers. The Kaluchevskoye earthquakes, and as you guys can see, for the last 30 days, it's been pretty active, right? Let's go to just last 7 days, right? So we see that big grouping of activity, the tied for, I think, the sixth largest earthquake in the history of taking measurements of earthquakes. I guess I think it started in 1900, something like that. So it is, of course, there's been a lot bigger ones in the past, distant past, but since they've been taking those measurements and recording them, and they, give it to basically, this is how big this is, and that's kind of what they go with. So that Kamchatka area has been, of course, a lot of earthquakes in that area. Now let's go back to the 30-day all magnitudes. Now look at the United States, right? It's pretty active, isn't it? Right? Now that one area that I think that the earthquake's going to happen, right in here, there's a pretty good, they're pretty good sized ones that are happening in this area right here, where we're going to get probably the earthquake tsunami thing. So in my remote view, I saw the seesaw going back and forth, bigger, then big, right? And then I saw it going, ooh, right across here. I don't know why, because usually it goes around the ring of fire. Maybe it goes around the ring of fire and gets stuck there. Because you see, it looks like a lot of energy goes into that area right there, right? So that area right there that's where a lot of people have said in the past there's going to be a big earthquake, and then that earthquake is going to translate into a big tsunami. I see it happening at night when everybody's asleep, unfortunately. And I see it being pretty significant, and it's going to devastate the entire West Coast. So that's what I see. It's coming probably within the first to second week of August. Now, if we see that massive earthquake, which has been predicted in the closer to Japanese area, it could be still in the Russian area, but close enough to Japan to cause what could be said a Japanese earthquake. But it could be, like I think, in this area right here, the Hiro area. That's where a lot of activity's been. So that would translate to somehow that energy going around and popping off over here and causing a very, very massive earthquake. Now let's look at some of the other things. As you guys can see, the prediction that we were going to be having massive earthquakes and tsunamis and volcanic activity that I said before the beginning of this year is starting to come to fruition, right? And it's going to be much more significant than we've seen already. So geophysicist Stefan Burns, we've looked at his information. He's been pretty cutting edge, and he's been predicting. He predicted basically that this earthquake, to a certain extent, was coming. So he says basically yesterday's 8.8 mega earthquake short-circuited the Earth. So this is energy. It's electrical energy. Electrical energy comes from the sun. Innervates the earth, makes things more active, and then it pops off in volcanic activity, earthquake activity, and of course that earthquake activity makes it, cause tsunamis, and that's where we're going to see some significant tsunamis coming up. It's going to be pretty devastating. So we'll see. Hopefully, we'll pray for it not to happen, but we need to be prepared.
Aftershocks after the massive magnitude 8.8 megaquake that struck Kamchatka yesterday, July 29, 2025, and we've just now had a powerful magnitude 6.4 aftershock. As you can see here, just in the past hour, as I'm filming this video now, there have been hundreds of magnitude 5 aftershocks, and we are still waiting on probably the most powerful aftershock yet to come, which is likely to be a magnitude 7 plus, probably even a magnitude 7.5 plus, because typically you will get a 1 magnitude reduction for the most powerful aftershock as compared to the main shock, which was a massive magnitude 8.8. the strongest earthquake in 14 years, going back.
Okay, so see where this is, the Kamchatka megaquake. So see how it like just travels along the fault lines and really stacks up here in the United States. It's been really slow slipping, which is good. It's like releasing energy. We've seen some of the fault lines have been active on the California. There's 3 different major. One of them hasn't been named yet, but I think it was what's the name of it? I can't think of it now. So it starts with a C. But there's 2 of them that are obviously San Andreas, and there's another one, and then there's a one they just started looking at. I think all 3 of these fault lines are going to like crank, and we'll see. Like I said, volcanic activity and so forth. But there's going to be major destruction coming on. Now, while this major destruction is coming in, there's going to be a rest. And was this planned? I think that some of this, like the Russian earthquake, they know these things are coming, they're building up, and they zap it with more energy, so it's more devastating. So all that flooding that we saw that happened in the Kamchatka area and caused damage, the Russians have they have their nuclear fleet and their missile subs and all that kind of stuff in that area. So some of the damage to some of the port facilities and so forth may have affected that. And that's what some people have said. I believe that it was actually ramped up and caused more damage than what it would have. But we haven't seen the really big one. Now, Japan, I think, is going to get spanked as well. Not only Russia. This is deep state activity. The White Hats won't do this, guys. They don't go after, they're not into loss of life. And the White Hats don't have anything, they don't have any beef with Russia, because Russia's actually taking out a lot of the deep state actors, the Nazis in Ukraine. So there's no beef. Of course, Trump is going to play like he's like, I'm so tired of you still fighting. I told you, and I'm gonna really spank you if you don't like behave. He's going to play that game, but the deep state is playing it on a very very negative level. And I think that Japan has been not playing along with the deep state. They're basically leaving the deep state as well and coming over to the White Hats. So I think Japan's going to get hammered, right? So, and then we're going to see California. Who's like, well, California, don't they have Gavin Newsom? He's deep state, right? Yeah. But the Californians are not playing along, right? Like I said in the show earlier today, I talked about this a little bit detail. The Californians have not been playing along like the deep state. They want complete control of Californians. But Californians, the people of California are leaving in droves, right, for one. So they're very pissed off about that. So they're directed nuclear weapons, of course. This has been ongoing for many, many years. Of course, more recently in the LA area. And the next one will be a big tsunami, and then earthquakes, and then volcanic activity. So they just, that's the way the deep state works, guys. If they can't get what they want, they just destroy everything and they rebuild, right? So they're going to destroy California on a massive level. So trust your intuition, move if you need to, but these are the things I've been seeing, and you have to be aware of it. So as the rest come, we are probably going to see, because the White Hats and the Black Hats have the ability to see into the future. They go and play future games. I've talked about this, and some of the stuff that I've done. This is what I'm revealing to you guys. Normally is for everyone, right? It's the nice version that most people can handle. But as you guys know, I can go way down that rabbit hole, and occasionally I go down there real quick and then come back. And you're like, what? What was that? So you guys that aren't aware are kind of like confused by some of the things I put out. But there is the capability of time travel. Has been talked about quite a bit. Those of you that have been paying attention know a lot about this. And I'm not insulting you guys that don't know about it. I'm just bringing it to your attention. Be open-minded. So the white hats know there's things that are coming, these earth change events, and the black hats know the same thing. Now we jumped a timeline and we moved that timeline to the current time from it happening back in 2012. If it happened in 2012, there would have been absolute devastation and humankind would not have been able to recover. Now we're in a position where enough of us have the capability of not only changing timelines, but creating a better reality than is coming. We, the people, we're not relying on President Trump, although he's magnificent and building the platform and the stability that we can start to operate with our higher consciousness brains and create magnificence. But a lot of you guys are going to have to be shook up, right? And there's going to be a lot of water involved, right? Water, shaking, fire. This is the change that happens in major events. It's happened throughout time. And we're at that inflection point where it's going to start to happen. It's going to start to happen on a greater and greater level. So I think it happens next month, beginning of next month. We joked around like they probably arrested Obama on his birthday, August 4th. I don't know that it's going to happen on that day. I don't see it happening on that day. I think it's going to be further into the month that we're going to start to see these people arrested. And unfortunately, concurrently, we're going to have massive earth change events. So we hope that they won't. I promise you. We hope that the white hats don't get off focus. They're going to still arrest these people because we can't go into higher consciousness states with these people still out there, guys. They're going to constantly, hamstring us, come in and make things more difficult for us, like they've been doing. Once you're going to be very surprised that once they're out of the picture, things are going to start to rapidly change for the better. But there's going to be some difficulty. We've talked about this. A lot of people talk about this. I think we're getting very close, very, very close to major things happening.
March 11, 2011, the Great Tohoku earthquake, magnitude 9.1, that triggered that tsunami that hit Japan and caused the Fukushima meltdown. So this was very, very serious. A tsunami was generated from this that traveled all across the Pacific, was picked up in California, Hawaii. Thankfully, the tsunami did not do all that much damage as it relates to Japan, Hawaii, the United States. So there was quite a bit of...
All right, so this is the opening act. That earthquake we just had, that's basically, okay, get ready, here we come, type thing. It's going to get much bigger. There's going to be a much bigger one, a much bigger tsunami. And that tsunami is not going to do, it's going to do some damage. Like this one was like a little extra waves. There was a little bit of damage here and there, but nothing of consequence. There was a little bit of scare factor. So people are going to be like, I listened last time, I'm going to listen this time. And that's going to be very costly. That's going to be very costly. And there's pros and there's cons for these things to happen at a progressive level. It's the way things are. They don't happen on a super massive level. They're going to build up. It's a building process, just like the takedown of the old system. It's a building process. So the process, as it builds, it will, destroy the old. So we're going to see old structures get destroyed. Where are some of the worst places for child trafficking? California, New York. All right, so these places are probably going to be destroyed on a massive level. So you have to, and that's because the consciousness of those areas attract that. They've attracted that, and then the consciousness of the earth and the vibrational frequencies and so forth are going to bring about a destructive process. Same thing is going to happen to the deep state actors. Their consciousness, their vibrational frequency is going to bring a counter frequency. As our frequency rises, those frequencies can't exist in our reality anymore. So they're going to be destructive and they're going to be taken out. So that's the process. Understand it on a basic level like that, and you're not going to go wrong.
Damage done right here in this area because of the extreme proximity to the epicenter. And now we have Kuchevskoye volcano erupting on the Kamchatka Peninsula, and this is the tallest volcano in the northern hemisphere. And
all right, so let's move into other areas that are going to be affected. We see
a momentous announcement from the royal family.
Russia, a BRICS country, and so what's another BRICS country? China, right? So China has been getting unbelievable amounts of flooding, and let's look at some more of it. I show this every few days, but it doesn't stop. I'm like, okay, they had the worst of it, but no, it keeps coming. It keeps coming.
They unveiled a new initiative, the Diana Initiative, led by Kate, honoring Princess Diana's legacy. This signaled a shift in the royal family's direction, prioritizing connection with the public and addressing contemporary issues. The Modern Monarchy Blueprint outlined a three-pronged approach, connecting with the people, embracing change, and focusing on the causes. Kate's leadership of the Diana Initiative further a momentous announcement from the British royal family has
Such as looks like a disaster film. What did they CGI this stuff? Is this real? Wow. I don't know, but it is happening in China. There's a lot of reporting about it. It's very devastating, as you guys have been seeing. Now, same thing, vibrational frequency. As we know, the Chinese have allowed a lot of very negative things to happen. They've gone after Christians. They've gone after other groups that are, for freedom and freedom of speech. Nope. Freedom of religion. Nope. And if you do that, then we're going to take your organs. Right? So we're going to imprison you in concentration camps. We're going to take your organs. So these are some of the things that have been going on in China. Bad frequency. Bad frequency.
Led by Kate, honoring Princess Diana's legacy. This signaled a shift in the royal family's direction, prioritizing connection with the public and addressing contemporary issues. The Modern Monarchy Blueprint outlined a approach, connecting with the people, embracing change, and focusing on relevant causes. Kate's leadership of the initiative further a momentous announcement from the British royal family has sent shockwaves through the world. The palace revealed significant news concerning Prince William.
Between July 25th and 29th, 2025, parts of Sichuan province in southwest China were once again hit by severe torrential rainfall, triggering a new wave of landslides across one of the country's most geologically fragile regions.
How would you like to be in that back car and everybody's just taking their time? And you hear the horns going off, get the F going.
Relentless rain overwhelmed the landscape, saturating hillsides and leading to sudden collapses. Massive debris flows cut off roadways, damaged infrastructure, and forced evacuations in multiple counties.
All right. So it just goes on and on.
Issued just hours before the collapse. Emergency teams from transport, geology, and fire departments arrived swiftly and established a command post on higher ground. Drones, radar systems, and excavators were deployed to assess the area and clear debris. By evening, responders had created a one-lane bypass and began installing protective mesh and rock anchors to stabilize the surrounding slope. Less than 24 hours later, another large-scale landslide struck Libo County in the Liangshan Yi Autonomous Prefecture.
Wow, run for your life. All right, so that's China. That's going on in China. And what's going on in America? Is there anything going on in America? A lot of you are like, that's China. I don't care. That's Russia. I don't care. Yeah, there were tsunamis, but they weren't that big. We had our surfers out there ready. They had a good time. They surfed the tsunami. It wasn't much of a tsunami. So, but next time they'll be ready for a bigger tsunami. That's right. And then they're going to go to heaven, and they're going to be in heaven. They're going to be like, bro, did you catch that wave? Wow. And it's like, yeah, dude, we're all dead. So, largest ever earthquake swarm recorded at volcano with 1,000 quakes tracked. Where is that? Mount Rainier. Mount Rainier. How about that? Largest ever earthquake swarm has been recorded at Washington's Mount Rainier. It's just a coincidence. There's nothing to do with all the other earthquake activity that's happening and the volcanoes that are erupting. It won't make its way to California or Washington. No. Yep, it will. The earthquake rate has decreased over time with a peak of 41 located events per hour on the morning of July 8th, decaying to a few events per hour as of the morning of July 25th. So it's slowing down. It's good. Don't worry. Be happy. Right. The source of the current swarm aligns with fluid movement. I mean, lava? Yeah. Along existing fault lines beneath the volcano and is deemed background activity. Background activity. No big deal. So here's the huge swarm. Looks like it's getting ready to go boom, boom to me. And so we'll see. Mount Rainier, situated roughly 60 miles southeast of Seattle, stands as the most ice-covered summit in the lower 48 states. And soon it will be hot. It'll be belching a lot of stuff like Mount Hood in Oregon. So working down the volcano chain, we have smoking coming from Mount Hood.
But we're going to be talking about today is something that happened earlier. So this was during Good Day Oregon. We pull up these shots a lot during those kinds of things, but we noticed something right there. So I want to pull this up to show you what we're going to be discussing here to give you a good idea. So that was earlier today. You can see that, I don't know, but we don't know what it is. Is it steam? Is it smoke?
That's lava coming to the surface, clowns. All right, so, they're going to, deny this stuff. They're going to deny it. They're denying it. Because they know that people are going to probably, panic. Right? So they'd rather keep you there so you don't panic and screw up the local economy. All right, but you're going to have to trust your own instincts and intuitions, your gut, which is second brain, right? And it has a lot of neurons around your gut. That's why you get that gut. It's like, it's tight. A lot of guys in combat get that. They don't understand the heart-brain connection, which is the higher intuitive zones where I can see things coming in the future, like earthquakes and tsunamis and volcanoes. But at least, on a minimum, your gut will give you insights of, getting away. So the gut pretty much is, like a lot of animals have that same instinctual connection and intuition. So at a basic level, you can be like the animals and you can run when things are going to get bad. So pay attention.
Far beneath the storm-lashed waters off Russia's far east lies one.
All right, so here's another one. This was like 4 days ago. So they were predicting, a lot of people are predicting this coming.
Most dangerous and least understood geological features on Earth, the Kuril-Kamchatka Trench. Stretching thousands of kilometers along the Pacific seafloor, this vast subduction zone marks the collision of two colossal tectonic plates and holds the potential to unleash a disaster of staggering proportions. In 1952, it triggered a magnitude 9.0 earthquake and a tsunami that claimed over 2,300 lives within minutes. Now, Decades later, signs are mounting that history may be poised to repeat itself. In 20...
Well, it did. So, we can give the psychic stuff like me, and we can back it up with science, like we're seeing right there. So that at least will start to appeal to a larger group of people, and they can be forewarned. Now, some people are like, they just thought they were saying tsunamis, you need to pay attention and, head for the hills and so forth. And the tsunami was a nothing burger. And so there's going to be a lot of people that aren't going to pay attention next time. And next time could very well be the time. Now, these energies travel like jet fast, right? They travel 500 miles an hour. I don't know. Maybe if it's a bigger one, maybe it travels a little faster. And so they predicted when these little tsunamis were going to come. They're like, it's probably going to be anywhere from 3 to 12 feet. 12 is significant, right? 3 feet and destroy, rip out boats and, destroy some infrastructure along the coastline. But 12 feet is very significant. Now, I believe we're going to see a lot bigger tsunamis than 12 feet. All right, very, very big. All right, it remains to be seen what happens. Rainier has been steaming lately. Lots of laughs. So I haven't seen that, but if Rainier's been steaming, that's it doesn't. It's not steaming because it's like a bubble bath, right? It's because there's magma coming closer to the surface. Look at any other volcano. It starts to steam and then it starts to erupt. So that's the cycle. So if we're starting to see steaming, like we're seeing in Mount Hood, which I predicted would go, and Mount Rainier, which I predicted would go, and we're in the earthquake activity, which means there's liquid movement, and that's not water. It's magma. All right. So as that stuff moves around and gets in position for the big boom, then will be a phreatic eruption, or will it just start to spew a little bit? Probably going to be big boom, right? So that's probably what we're going to, not happy magma within 5 miles. So yeah, if you're close to a volcano, you live right down the hill from a volcano, it's probably cheap. That's where a lot of people, I will live. It's never going to erupt. It hasn't erupted in 100 years or whatever. It's probably not going to erupt. And then it starts to, shake your house starts to shake and vibrate, and the water goes off and electricity goes off occasionally, and it's probably nothing. And then there's steam coming out of the mountain. You're like, it's just, it's temperature variation. So, and then the explosion happens, and you're like, look, your little wings, angel wings. So pay attention to the stuff that's happening around you guys. You have to. I did this every time I went to combat. It's like you gotta be aware of your surroundings because your life depends on it. That's the way it's going to be. Unfortunately for the whole Earth, the whole Earth is going to be coming to different Earth change events, and they're going to progress and get worse and worse. And I'm not saying worse. It's just it's change. It's change. And, sometimes extreme change comes with, extreme difficulty. Right? So I can tell you, I've lived through lots of difficulty. That's why I can laugh, right? Navy SEAL training and being in combat zones and all this stuff. And then seeing stupid stuff in military and the CIA. My God, yeah, they're stupid. There's always, those of us that, can make things better, but they don't let us make things better because they're in control. So that system has to fail. And the way that fails is with these coming Earth changes, part of it. And it's going to be cover for a lot of these people to be arrested, right? And I'm good with it. Right? Earthquake activity. I've been warning everybody. I'm telling everybody where it's going to happen. You want to stay. You want to hang out. You want to catch that beautiful surf, tsunami surf, and you go bye-bye. So that's you. You know, that's all up to you. Maybe you come back next time and you're a little bit smarter. I don't know, but that's the way it is. And I do have intuition courses. Yes, I would say, because people have been asking me again, become the master of your reality. Is the first, basically building your intuition, and then of course the remote viewing and remote influencing and remote healing and lots of other courses. So a lot of you guys have started to get back in there. I'm glad to see that, because it will make a difference for many of you. All right, so let's look at the aliens coming. All right, the aliens are coming. The aliens are coming. Here we go.
Atlas, and it was first seen in data collected between June 25th and June 29th by a system called ATLAS, the Asteroid Terrestrial Impact Last Alert System. This system uses powerful telescopes in Hawaii and South Africa to scan the night sky automatically for any unusual or potentially dangerous space objects. After the object was noticed, it was confirmed by experts at NASA's Center for Near-Earth Object Studies, and the research team has now confirmed that this new interstellar object isn't a glitch or an error. It's real. What makes 3I/Atlas so fascinating is its strange speed and unknown nature.
Strange speed and unknown nature. Yes. So, just like here on Earth, on the surface, there's people living, and you're like, it's an inhabited planet. But inside of our planet, there's lots more people, or beings. We'll just call them beings. Lots more than there are on the surface, because there's many levels below us. And of course, a lot of you guys know that about the 10K level where the baddies are, right? They're getting wiped out. So that's, but the good ETs and the good former surface dwellers that have gone underground and have built incredible advanced civilizations, they're there. So yes, we have an object that's coming to us at this point in time where our consciousness is going to rise and the earth change activities happening. It's going to come in right at the same time. How about that? That's just so amazing, right?
Scientists still aren't sure what it actually is. It could be a comet, an asteroid, or maybe even something we've never seen before. One well-known astronomer, Avi Loeb from Harvard University, who famously suggested that Oumuamua might have been an alien probe, has weighed in again. This time, he's suggesting that scientists use the powerful James Webb Space Telescope to study this newly discovered interstellar object in more detail. He wants to look for signs of non-gravitational acceleration, which means movement that can't be explained just by gravity alone.
All right. So, yes, alien angelics, Brian Connor. So it could be. It could be. Now, when I remote view it, I'm not allowed to see exactly what's coming, right? But I do know it's going to be, I believe it's going to be an ET reveal. That's what I'm getting. So that's very interesting, isn't it? All right, let's look at a little bit more. There's one that you can go ahead and pull this up, guys. 3I, I as in the letter I, / Atlas, ATLAS. So you can pull that up and start to do your own research. It's going to give you lots of interesting little tidbits. All right, let's look at some of it. All right, here we go again. Controversial paper questions whether interstellar visitor, superfast new comet could be evil alien technology. Harvard scientist believes interstellar comet could be alien craft. It came from outside our solar system and it looks like a comet. Could comet 3I/Atlas be alien technology? All right, so it's been seeded. It's been seeded now. So something's going to come out of that. evil aliens. I don't think so. But they could spin it. Could be spun in that direction. It is a craft from what I've seen, and it's all internal, and they're advanced. And as I get more information, as they allow me to get start to reveal more, I guess, then I will pass it on. But that's my first remote view on that. That's what I got. But I seriously got that it was going to be ET disclosure, and that it would be maybe build something different, because the baddies want to do that. They like to do that, right? So we'll see. Because if they're good ETs coming to help us, then of course the bad guys are going to shay it all over that, right? Because that's the way they do things. They don't want us to wake up. They don't want us to have that. All right, so now we're going to have more activity with storms. One of the reasons why I left Florida is I think it's going to get really, really bad, right? So the weather pattern is getting very concerning, says Weatherman Plus. So let's look at some of this.
Wave. We have this weak wave right here in the front that's going to go in that direction. It has a lot of thick dust still in front of it and on top of it.
All right, so this is normal. The month of July. Sometimes we'll get an earthquake that sneaks in, but the dust from the Sahara, it's dry and it's got crystalline structures in it which don't allow the hurricanes to form up. So that's starting to dissipate, which it does in August. That's why most of the hurricanes are in August. So we're moving into that. It looks like it's starting to dissipate. And as it dissipates, and the other factors that shear and so forth that usually happen in July are going to be reducing as well. So the water's hot, and the hurricanes want to come play.
But the second one behind it is getting some shear right now. But the plume of dust that is over it, it is thick in the front, but it's thin in the back. Plus the next wave coming off the coast of Africa. You see it's a little...
Okay, so you have a third wave and a fourth wave behind that. So back to back to back to back. So it's going to be like machine gunning Florida and some of the other areas.
Thinner. Now this is going to traverse across the MDR and becoming a potential issue. These two waves is going to be into the beginning of August. Now in August, we usually get more activity, everyone, because all this dust.
Oh, the beginning of August. And so we have the solar activity, which is basically bringing more electrical energy, and has been causing a lot of these crazy storms, 1,000-year storms that we've seen all over the U.S. And now we're going to see a little bit of cold. There was actually, I think a week or so ago, there were some areas in the north that were having record-setting cold. No one talked about that. I saw that, and I'm like, that's interesting. Kind of like what I've been saying, it's going to be a very short summer, right? Here where I'm at, Lake Tahoe, it has been very cool. A lot cooler than what I remember. And it gets cold at night. It gets down in the 40s and 50s in the summer. Wow. I don't remember that. So it is already, in some areas, it's already starting to show the coming solar minimum. And it's going to start to increase as we go into this next winter will be dry, not as much snow, but setting massive temperature anomalies. Very cold, right? And that's just the beginning. So it's going to continue to get colder as we move into year after year. We're moving into a mini ice age, right?
Thinning out, the shear starts lightening up, and these systems can get stronger as they come across the MDR. Now, what I'm seeing on the latest trend is a little bit concerning, everyone. So I'm going to go through the latest information in this video. What you can expect not only from...
All right, so it is coming. We're just keep a watch on it. We don't need to get concerned right now because it's not formed up. All right, it will though, and they will start to march across the Atlantic and like a little military parade, and they will get big and they will hammer, all right, wherever they come across. So get ready, prepare. I'm just like a bringer of goodness, right? Although there is a lot of good things that will come of this, like I said, consciousness change that we've all been waiting for. Again, there's always a massive collision, right, of good and evil. Fortunately, we're moving into an area where the satanic realm is at its weakest that it's been in a very long time. So we saw, obviously, the satanic Saturn dominance that happened over the last, couple thousand years during the birth of Christ. Look at Christ, who came in crucified, right? Because he was bringing in the light. And of course, we've been trying to, for the last couple thousand years, bring that light in, bring that love in. It's been tough. It's been difficult, right? It's going to become easier as we move forward, but the destructive power that comes in to take down the evil side has to come through, and that's what we're looking for. All right. Let's look at what's going on in Mother Russia.
July 30th, 2025, and before you, additional operations map. Multiple changes have been recorded today, as well as fresh clarifications that affect several directions simultaneously.
All right, so many directions along the Russian front. Of course, the Nazis would send their worst to the Russian front because they knew they were going to be just killed. And that's what's happening right now with the Nazis in Ukraine. So we have 10 days until Zelensky falls. Is that what we're going to see? Is Papa Trump going to take out Zelensky? We'll see. Massive Russian offensive engulfs entire front line. So there's a massive push. There's massive front line. You've been looking at the maps of Russia basically gobbling up land in Ukraine. You see it is very, very long, well over 1,000 kilometers. And Russia is hammering Ukraine across the entire front, right? And pushing back day by day, kilometer after kilometer, every day, multiple kilometers every day, surrounding massive pockets of Ukrainian soldiers and decimate them, and massive surrender of Ukrainian soldiers. So it's not being reported. You're not going to see it in the mainstream, but it is happening. Those of us that look behind the scenes have been seeing this ongoing. I've been predicting this for a long time, that Russia would do a massive all across the front and move across and destroy the Ukrainian army and take a lot of land, right? So migration to red states. So this is part of the consciousness shift as well, getting away from the satanic Democrat Party. Migration to red states is accelerating, and I have a lot of Democrat friends that have very good minds, and they do have good conversations, but they're attached to something that's evil, and I think at some point they'll realize that and pop off that. All right, so we're you think of New York and Philadelphia and Baltimore and New Jersey, and that area was the apex of American economic and financial power, but that is no longer the case. All right, so it's changing. The top states gaining population are Florida, 1.6 million, and Texas, 1.3, followed by North Carolina, Arizona, South Carolina, Tennessee, Georgia, Nevada, which I'm in now, Washington, and Idaho. Now, just because the state is gaining doesn't mean it's positive, because Californians are leaving and going to Washington, so that's not always a good thing. So it's blue going to blue, all right? The blue, they know that California is probably going to go into the sea, and they want to go somewhere where it's safer, because California's really gotten bad, and they're just going to take their ideals and take it somewhere and screw that state up even more. So that's what's happening in Washington, unfortunately. So migration within America generally follows political lines, with red states gaining population and blue states losing. So my my thoughts and my shares over the last several years that the Democrat Party was going to go away. Does that not look like that's happening? Yeah. So they're only going to be able to milk this for so much longer, guys, before it just finally implodes. The Democrat Party goes bye-bye. Bye-bye. So sad. Not. Migration is happening and largely coming from other blue states, even with blue states that gain population. For example, Washington State, like I said, experienced 217,304 net positive migration, but more than half that surplus, 146, came from California. All right, so here are the states that are losing. The states in red and orange are losing population. Louisiana, of course, used to be a red state, and then they got a blue governor. That's not good. So that's why you're seeing some leaving Louisiana and New Mexico, California, Alaska, Hawaii, of course, Wyoming, New York, bigly, Illinois, bigly, of course. So you look at all these states and you wonder why. Well, here's one of the reasons why, because they're going tax-free and they're reducing the tax base. Because we know Democrats like to steal money, and they do that through taxation. And they money launder it. And they turn it into mortgages. And they do money laundering through mortgages. Like that, a lot of people on through and several shows. Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin, so Republican, that replaced the Democrat that said that he was going to allow children to be aborted even after they're born. All right. So, yeah, he got voted out. Also speaking at the launch event, attributed the population shift to what he called a virtuous cycle in red states of cutting or eliminating state income tax. I've been talking about this for years, how there are states that are cutting taxes slowly but surely in multiple states. And that's where a lot of people are going because we're fed up with the taxation stealing our money, right? So if you still live in a Democrat state like California, you still believe in giving your money to them, and New York and Chicago and wherever the states are that rape you for your money, if you stay there and continue that or don't try and stop that, then that's on you at this point. Those people are going to bring with them their income. The ones that are leaving the states that are raping with taxes. They're going to pay taxes, and then we have a surplus. And with that surplus, we get to invest in education, law enforcement, and behavioral health. So there's no people living on the streets, pooping on the streets, and we get to reduce taxes again. So it's like, God, that's like, makes too much sense, Democrats, doesn't it? Because you guys believe in taxation. So if you believe in big taxation, and there's people that are like fed up with it and they leave, you don't have as many taxes, and then you have to pay more. Wow. Isn't that funny the way that works? Wow. It's math. It's simple math. And you have simple mind if you can't figure it out, and you stay in a Democrat state, or you don't change things. Youngkin said that this virtuous cycle actually works. Yes, it does. And we know why. Because we've unleashed in the Commonwealth of Virginia, and we have a lot of people coming there. Between 2012 and 22, Virginia experienced a net outflow of people every year, Democrat rule. But this was reversed in 2023, Republican rule, followed by a reduction in state income tax. In 2023, for the first time, Virginia broke the mold, and we were number 9 in the nation for net migration, coming from number 40 the year before. Wow, how things can change very quickly, right? So there is hope for you Democrats that are still can't do math, right? Learn math and then change your state, right? States, but it's not going to happen that way. You're going to have to go through pain. I predict pain. States that have no income tax at all include Alaska, Florida, where I just was, Nevada, where I am now, New Hampshire. Wow, that's amazing. That's way up there in the blue area, right? Good for them. South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, and Wyoming. Now, I know that Montana is reducing I know that several other states are in the process of reducing, so that's a good sign. And eventually, we'll have almost every state will not have income tax, and will not have property tax. That's another thing that's really blossoming out there. Getting rid of property tax. That's ridiculous. But we've allowed it, and Florida's taking the lead on that, so that's really good. All right, 10 states with the highest income taxes have lost more than $200 billion of income to low tax states, according to the organization. Simple math. All right. California, for example, lost more than 360,000 people to Texas and transferred nearly $21 billion in income between 2012-22. Unleashed prosperity data indicates New York lost more than 380,000 people and $37 billion in income to Florida. They needed to pay for all the hurricane damage. In line with the Unleashed Prosperity study, a 2024 report by the Institute for Family Studies stated that red states are increasingly attractive for families with children. Yay. We like children. We like families. We don't have that a lot in Democrat states because there's a lot of ripping babies out. Right. All right. So more families left his state than moved into it. That's Minnesota Democrat Governor Tim Walz. All right. It's sad. He's a bad man, and he's destroying the state. Minnesota ranked in the worst third for negative family migration, measured as a percentage of population, together with New York, Alaska, California, Oregon, Washington, Massachusetts, and Illinois. Measured in terms of pure number of families moving out, California led the pack with 92,000. Blue states have voted for Democratic, just as interesting, presidential candidates in both 2016 and 2020. I love statistics when they are not manipulated like they did with COVID and, Democrat states with their voting. Oh, yeah, we got this many people. No, those are illegals. Well, they can vote. All right, so we see red states that voted for President Donald Trump in both elections gained 181,000 families. And states that saw the largest number of families moving in were Texas, Florida, Georgia, Arizona, South Carolina, and Tennessee. The migration to red states will also likely lead to a loss of votes, thank God, because these morons are great. Wow, just morons. Loss of votes in the Electoral College for blue states. Yes, the Democrat Party is going bye-bye. That have lost population, as well as a loss of congressional seats. Just take it all away from them. Please do it now. But there remains a question of whether migration from blue states will ultimately turn red states purple, like Georgia. Yeah, Georgia's bad. They got a lot of problems in Georgia, which Joe Biden won in the 2020 election, presidential election. Georgia bad, right? So it is what it is. Well, at least the Georgia Guidestone's gone, so it's kind of moving in the right direction, right? Kind of, sort of, not. All right, let's look at the arrests that are coming. I know you guys are anxious. You're anxious about that. Don't be anxious, be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Treason, time is up. Treason, how former President Barack Obama, or at least one of his lookalikes or clones, was the kingpin of the biggest political scandal in modern history. Yep. You going bye-bye. It's time to indict Obama, traded for treason. MAGA, America's ambassador. So those of us that voted for President Trump are not Republicans mostly, right? Although we get that moniker. I vote for the best person, and President Trump is that person. I don't see as a Republican Party. So I like this little meme right here. Why the F aren't you hanging these people? Yes, that's my question. Because I like those neckties for those guys. I talk about that often. Like, noose him. All right? Martial law. So this is Johnny Bravo. Followed his channel for a long time. He's basically turned to the political side. He's really into investing, but he's like, can't stop myself. Right? So I don't know how he gets away with it. Many of us are getting away with it, so I guess I kind of know. But here he is. This is great. We're going to end sanctuary cities, and we may just end the entire thing altogether.
The entire thing altogether, because it's just a way of protecting criminals.
So Trump is doubling down on crackdowns in sanctuary cities.
To arrest elected officials who won't obey him. Preview of martial law is increasingly the question.
We have Trump. Hold on. Trump saying he'll arrest city mayors under martial law. And I say, you go, wait, because I am so sick and tired of watching this. He's posting things about Abraham Lincoln, who was assassinated. You weren't, you got close. So I'll give it to you. I'll let you post. Quote, sanctuary city mayors are defying federal law. Well, go get them, orange guy. They are insurrectionists just like the Southern governors during the Civil War.
Damn, Democrats. They got to go away. Can you give them another chance, guys? It's like these criminals are going to be arrested. Democrat Party has to go bye-bye.
You guys, I just want America back. I want it like when I grew up. Just the good old days where men were men, women were women. We drank out of garden hoses. We water bottles. Watch the pendulum swing where it's like, don't drink out of plastic water bottles, you'll die. Go back to the rusty garden hose. I just want America back. So if that means throwing these guys in jail, great. Throw them in a bus. Throw them back over the border. I don't care. Give them a first-class ticket to wherever they want. While you're at it, throw politicians in jail. Obama, they're coming for you. Nancy Pelosi, they're coming for you. Notice I changed my background to a trading floor because
I like it conceptually. And, Nancy Pelosi became rich by having inside information. She made a fortune with it.
He doesn't have his trident on, but that's a seal standing behind him.
And I think that's disgraceful. So in that sense, I like it, but I'd have to really see I study these things very carefully, and this just happened. So I'll take a look at it. But conceptually, I like it. And what I do think is Nancy Pelosi should be investigated, because she has the highest return of anybody practically in the history of Wall Street. Save it for you.
By the way, do you guys know I offer this? It comes with the Bravos kit.
All right, so we're going to see a lot of these people get arrested. So everybody's talking about it. It's social media is blowing up. We're ready for this to happen, aren't we? Aren't we? It's going to happen. Going to happen. And now I know a lot of people are like, no, they've been talking about this for years. Well, it's been in the process for years. And, some of these things, bills of justice take time sometimes. And, almost always. But unless you're in a military tribunal, and it's like so fast. But we're seeing a lot of this stuff get exposed, like FireAid hires attorneys to review $100 million in donations for Los Angeles victims. So FireAid hires attorneys? What? Right. FireAid has hired a law firm to conduct a comprehensive review of the celebrity fundraising event after officials and the public question how the organization is spending $100 million in donations. Excuse me, don't you need an outside source, not a source that you're paying to, look at you? It's like the mafia. It's like, we got our mafia lawyers that are investigate us and find out, how we stole all this money. They're going to investigate it. And we just know that it's going to turn out right in a right direction. That's about the dumbest thing. Why even post something about that? Okay, so these people money launder, they steal your money, they do your heartstrings. It's like, give money to the FireAid. It's FireAid. All the people that had problems, $100 million, and it doesn't go to any one person that was supposed to. I mean, who gave to that? Who gets suckered into that? Anybody want to raise your hand? No one wants to raise their hand about that. All right, Head Witch Yes, she is definitely the witch. Remember when for Trump's speech? Yeah. Oh, I can't believe she wasn't arrested right there. Because that's a federal, property, and she destructed it. So, head witch. Trump urges investigation on Nancy Pelosi for insider stock trading, just like Johnny Bravo talked about. And wow, look at this advertisement. That guy's like got gas. Wow, the things you see. Don't break my concentration with that stupid stuff. Nancy Pelosi should be investigated for insider trading. She has the highest return of anybody practically in the history of Wall Street. Yeah. Joe Rogan calls out Nancy Pelosi for making $200,000 a year and yet having a $150 million net worth. How the F did that happen? That's a good point. Well, we know how it happened. She gets insights. And amazingly, Congress, they made a law so that they can do that. That's crazy, right? It's okay. If you do insider trading, then you go to jail. If they do insider trading, they make a lot of money. And that's the way it should be, right? And they're there for like 40, 50 years, some of them, like Nancy Pelosi and Grassley and, you name it. They've been there forever. And Trump has been in office like 4 years and 7 months or something, and they call him the king. Right? Like, yeah. Nobody goes to jail. So Lenny says nobody goes to jail. All right? So we'll see. Lenny 777. Nobody goes to jail. So it is the just ask Martha Stewart. People go to jail. Yeah, but she's not one of them. I think she was. I think she took the heat for them, right? And I think we're going to see him go to jail, right? It's moving that direction. Now, Alcatraz, we don't want to put him in Alcatraz because Alcatraz is going to get tsunamied, along with the Golden Gate Bridge. It's going to get knocked down. All right, so San Francisco, Evil City, is going to get destroyed, right? Tsunami, bye-bye. Bye-bye, San Francisco. Bye-bye. We'll see. I know a lot of you guys don't believe it. And maybe it won't happen. Maybe we can pray it and it won't happen. But it is in the cards. It is. I see it. It's there. I've seen it for a while. And there are other people talking about it. There are a lot of other people talking about it. So I'm not the only one. Now, I know that some of you guys see this stuff or hear me talking about it. And you're like, Mike, stop talking about it because you're going to like bring it into existence. That's really weird. So, no, I'm warning you that this could come so that you can get out of the way, or you can stay and believe that, I'm telling you, the storm's coming. And you're like, I don't believe it. No, look, there's clouds, and it's very, very dark, and there's lightning. You better come inside. And you're like, no, I don't believe it's coming. You're just saying that, and because you're saying that, you're making it come. I'm just going to stay here. I'm not going to believe it. And then it won't come. So we know there's people like that out there. I see it in the chat all the time. But I don't know why they even hang out. It's like, are you like, California boy here? Not anymore. But it still rubbed off on me. But, and then I have people around me that are Californians. Like my wife, she's a California girl, so I don't know that she says that, but maybe. Maybe that's why I have it. Frisco smells like turds. Yes. So it needs a cleaning. This town needs an enema. Remember that Batman movie? Jack Nicholson. He was Joker. Yeah. Joker. And lots of laughs. And as he's like killing people and destroying Gotham and or New York. Yeah, that's getting destroyed too. But there's a lot of things, and New York has been prophesied to. They even have it on some of the cathedrals. There's tsunami waves that are destroying New York on some of the cathedral art, so forth, sculpture on the side of the cathedrals. So I mean, it's people have been seeing this and coming in the future. You can blame me if you want, but I'm just a messenger. I'm just telling you the storm's coming, right? You can stay wherever you want. It's up to you. Or you can get that feeling. I got a feeling. And then you're like, I'm gonna just get my bag and I'm gonna go to the hills. I'm gonna go to I'm going to Idaho. I'm going to Idaho. leaving Cali, going to Idaho. And it's probably gonna be a good thing because Idaho in the future looks good. Now I've shown you guys the future maps that a lot of psychics saw the future Earth, a lot of them. And it didn't happen, like I said, in 2012 because we had to, if it happened then we wouldn't have, raised in consciousness and now we're going to. So I think that's a good thing. Just keep an open mind. You don't have to believe everything I say. And maybe it won't come true, but it often does. And I'm just seeing it, I see it. I've been doing this for over 25 years and I've gotten better at it, I've refined it. I still make mistakes, but not as many times. So we'll see what happens. Now, 10 years from now, it's pretty much in the beginning of the golden age. The beginning, you're like, what? 10 years? Yeah, years. Yeah, because we've had thousands of years of hell, right? And now we're going to move into a situation where we're able to, because of the weakness of Satan, we get to throw him off. But we have to work together. We, the people of the world, have to work together. So when, not if, these massive tsunamis or change events happen, when we see that, it's kind of like a slap upside the head. I've sent messengers to basically tell you what's coming. You haven't listened. So shake your ass, right? And wash your ass and fire your ass and with fire, right? And you have that almost death experience, So many times I've been to combat zones. It's been near-death experiences. I've had many near-death experiences throughout my career in the SEALs, and then working in the Middle East, as you might be able to imagine. And those near-death experiences were beneficial to me because they calmed me. It's like, God, I lived through that. I could live through a lot of other bullshit, right? And that's what we're coming to. So don't get all wrapped up in all the trauma and the bullshit. It has to happen. Like I keep saying, I will continue to say that. I know a lot of you guys get it, but some people don't. They have to hear it over and over again. They have to unprogram their MK Ultra stuff. So you'll hear me say it probably a lot. And shake, rattle, and roll. We're going to be going through that. And you'll be, if you're into it, you'll be in a good spot. Now, I see, and I've actually felt it, in the future, the near future, where even where I'm at, it's shaking. But it's not where the center point is of earthquakes. It's far away, right? So these quakes will be so big and so dramatic that they'll be felt over vast bases. And when you feel those, it's not localized in your direction. And if you can, go onto the internet and the TV, if it's still up, and you'll see that it's some vast destruction is happening at some point, and it's coming soon. All right. Mountains are the safest place to live. That's been the case for a long, long time. But even I think in New Hampshire, they found whales on the mountains, whalebone in the mountains. So I don't know. Maybe even some places you can't be safe, like in the mountains. I don't know. And I don't think it's going to get that bad. I really don't see it being that bad, but it has been in the past. And the reason why it's not going to be that bad is because our consciousness is raised, and we're going to calm it through our consciousness. But first, you got to get the shake. got to get big shake, and then a wakey wakey, right? You guys know I have the wakey wakey shirt. I'm wearing it now. Camera zoomed in so you can't see it, but it is there. You got to wakey wakey, all right? If you don't wakey wakey, you go bye-bye, right? Lots of love, stay in the love vibration, and we'll see you guys next time.
Been best of the